What's going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome to another Knicks Nation post-game show on this Wednesday evening. Appreciate every single one of you joining me here tonight. The New York Knicks lose to the Dallas Mavericks 114 to 129. The New York Knicks are now 2-2 on this West Coast trip. What's going on, everybody? This one sucked. This one really sucked. Anyone else kind of annoyed by the inconsistency from this team? It's like you have such a great game offensively in Denver. OG 40 points. Anunoby couldn't buy a basket tonight, by the way. Knicks look great offensively. 145 points in Denver. And tonight, first half, they couldn't buy a bucket. The second half, they scored, 74 points? But first half, they couldn't buy a bucket. OG was slipping and sliding everywhere. Like Castro says in the chat. What's going on, Castro? Yeah, just the inconsistency of this offense is, it's a trend now. It has been a trend. They're 10-8 on the season. Still have a chance to go 3-2 on this West Coast trip on Friday in Charlotte. But this is a trend. The New York Knicks cannot compete in games if they don't shoot the ball well. Simply due to the fact that when they don't shoot the ball well, they lose. And look, we've been saying this now for, majority part of the season. When the New York Knicks don't shoot the ball well, they are going to lose because they are not a good enough defensive team at this moment. They're not good on defense at this moment. And, one hot game, one cold game happened in Dallas, right? Cold game in Dallas, hot game in Denver, hot game in Phoenix, cold game tonight. So it's frustrating the way this New York Knicks team is losing these games simply due to the fact that they can't. The thing is, normally if you have a bad shooting night, you can string together a few good defensive possessions, get yourself back in the game, get yourself, get some momentum building. Even though you're not shooting the ball well, you can still play good defensively. But right now, all game long, the Knicks just couldn't compile stops against this Mavs team. And Spencer Dinwiddie was absolutely killing the Knicks. Quentin Grimes with, of course, a season high against his former club, 4-point play, then looked back at the bench. And P.J. Washington and Najee Marshall on the Dallas Mavericks outplayed your wings. Simple. P.J. Washington and Marshall outplayed OG Anunoby tonight and Mikal Bridges tonight. And, Dallas opened up this game. We're switching everything. Maybe it caught the Knicks off guard, but offensively, the Knicks just didn't start this game with any type of assertiveness whatsoever. And right now, defensively, they can't overcome a bad shooting night. 18 games into the season. And that's why they lost in Dallas, 114 to 129. Appreciate every single one of you joining me here tonight. Hit some of these comments on this Wednesday evening, day before Thanksgiving. I wish the Knicks gave us a little bit of a victory before we stuff our faces tomorrow, but they decided not to. Dis Rover, what's going on? Another terrible loss where Thibs doesn't open up the rotation. We sunned Denver, but our guys like OG were still exhausted from Monday. Yeah, OG looked exhausted. He looked tired. He looked, yeah. I mean, that game versus Denver was such an amazing game from him, obviously, offensively and defensively. Tonight, he just didn't have it. He started this game, he missed his first 11 shots, if I'm not mistaken. OG Anunoby? Yeah, OG Anunoby missed his first 11 shots tonight. It's rough. And, this Knicks team, The thing, another thing is Dallas is depleted, right? Dallas is without some of their guys. These are the types of games where you have to take advantage of your, opponent. They're down Luka. They're down Klay Thompson. They shouldn't lose to a team that's this depleted. Even when they have a bad shooting night, you shouldn't lose to a team that's that depleted. No Klay, no Luka, no problem. And, credit to Dallas. Their wing stepped up. Quentin Grimes stepped up, of course. But every time the New York Knicks would seemingly make a run, get back in the game, cut it to 14-13, it's freaking Spencer Dinwiddie hitting a tough three, and it's just a dagger. And that was happening all night long with Dinwiddie, with Marshall. Frustrating, guys. Frustrating. Oh, man. Tony says using 3 guys off your bench is not acceptable. You're going to lose a lot of games based off fatigue. Yeah. I thought Tom Thibodeau, we'll talk about the rotations a little bit. But, look, 8 guys tonight, Tom Thibodeau. And you could tell that the Knicks need another wing coming in off the bench to kind of, they need like another wing. And I was hoping that would be, Daddier, right? I mean, Pacom Daddier had some spot minutes here and there. It just seems like the Knicks are picking and choosing when they want to play him, which I think isn't, good for his development. I mean, you play him one night, you don't play him another night. You play Kolek one night, you don't play them another night. Dallas is the depleted team. You're not depleted. I mean, you're missing Precious, but and Mitch. But yeah, I thought the Knicks could have opened up the rotation. Yeah, and that game versus Denver was such an emotional win. You knew coming into tonight, you needed somebody off that bench to give you a spark. Campaign didn't really have it tonight. Deuce didn't really have it tonight. And Bridges and you got your wings got outplayed. And yeah. Oh man. Tough loss in Dallas, man. Tough loss in Dallas. This Rover says Kyrie didn't even go off on us. Normal 23 points for him. Yeah, he did it. I don't think he did it. He didn't go off. Hit some timely shots, but credit to their guys, man. I mean, look at this. You're taking a look at the box score, right? 114 and 129. Guys, it's defense, man. It's the defense. Knicks are not playing defense. They're not. And they are not going to win unless they score above 120 or 130 right now. Defensively, this team is not where it needs to be. And we know that, right? I mean, we're just hoping right now that our great offensive games can kind of, win us. Let me just refresh this. So, and then look, we're 10-8, 5-6 away from the Garden. And our offense has won us a few games, but our defense has lost us a lot. And when you score 114 points, that's good. That's enough points to win, right? That's enough points to win, even though you didn't shoot the ball well in the first half. And the Knicks scored 43 points in the fourth quarter tonight. But yeah, OG Anunoby, 0 of 8 from 3. Rough. 3 of 15 from the field and still played 40 minutes tonight. He didn't have it, man. I mean, from start to finish, you could tell OG just didn't have it. Wasn't really himself. Emotional game after Denver. That's when Tom Thibodeau, in my opinion, needs to realize that. And needs to just be like, listen, Anunoby doesn't have it tonight. Let me go to Pacom Daddier. Let me expand the rotation a little bit and get someone fresh legs, fresh body in here. Just give us a little spark. Time after time, our starters, seems like in these losses, somebody doesn't have it in the starting 5. 1 or 2 people. And Anunoby, 8 points. It's a bad game out of Anunoby. Towns, 25 and 14, got into foul trouble. Another thing, referees. I think the Knicks are... Look, I'm not... Referees, I know they have a tough job, but some of the calls in the first half were absolutely ridiculous. But, hey, it is what it is. Brunson, 37 and 7 assists. Josh Hart. It's just you didn't get anything from your bench tonight. and you didn't get anything from OG Anunoby. But, poorly officiated game in the first half. I thought Knicks probably I feel like the officials call like ticky-tack fouls on the Knicks and the opponents. They just let it go, but that's neither here or there. I mean, you didn't lose the game because of that. You lost the game because you don't play defense. Jericho Sims, nada tonight. Payne, after a good run from campaign, a nice stretch from campaign, kind of fell back, 6 points, 1 assist. McBride didn't have it tonight, only attempted 2 field goals. You didn't get anything from your bench. And you look at Dallas, I mean, they're playing 10 guys tonight. And this is what I'm talking about. Even if you play, like they played 8 guys, like in terms of minutes, Dinwiddie got 33 minutes off the bench. Kleber got 24 off the bench. Hardy got 16. But they still found some minutes for Powell. They still found some minutes for Gordon, man. 2 minutes, spot minutes, and he hit a 3. That's where I think Tom Thibodeau can improve. But guys, it's like beating a dead horse. I don't think Dibs is going to do that because I don't get it. But I thought Daddy should have gotten to this game. But look, Anunoby tonight, off game, and Bridges. I feel like we need way more out of Mikal Bridges. I don't know. Gave you 20 points tonight, 5 rebounds, hit a 3 late to push his point total to 20. But I'm just not feeling it with him right now. Like there's some guys who you're like, okay, that dude is like, it's just like a lot of like, I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying? Like Mikal is just, he's underperformed this year. He has. And mainly defensively, too. I mean, 4-10 from 3 tonight. 5 rebounds. No steals. No blocks. I just need more from him. I just need more from Mikal Bridges. And he's just struggling right now defensively. And offensively, he shot well better tonight, but I don't know. I'm just not getting the same feeling I get when I watch like Anunoby dominate. Like I'm not getting him dominate the game. He's not aggressive. Like Mikal isn't aggressive enough for me. He settles too much. Like take the ball, go to the basket. Like give me something. Like, I don't think he's been to the free throw line. I know he doesn't get to the free throw line that much, but if we go to his game log. Whoa, what just happened? He has not been to the free throw line since the Chicago Bull game, where he shot 3 free throws. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight games of him not being to the free throw line. And if you want to go further, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10 out of his last 11 games, Mikal Bridges has not been to the free throw line. I just need to see more out of him, man. I just need him to be more aggressive. Just take over certain possessions. We're just not getting that, man. A lot of corner stuff, and I know he's a great corner 3-point shooter, but I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling it so far in the first 18 games with Mikal Bridges. And he's had great, obviously, the games versus Brooklyn. He's had some good offensive showings, the defensive showings versus Brooklyn, but we just need more out of him is all I'm saying. And I know eventually that hopefully will come, but you gave up a lot for him. Right, you gave up a lot for Mikal, and for him not to go to the free throw line in 7 straight games, just not being aggressive, just offensively, he's just settling for threes. Even his mid-range stuff, a lot of the mid-range stuff, he's fading away when it seems like he doesn't have to, just making it harder on himself. I know that he's comfortable with that shot, but I just need more from Mikal, especially on the defense. especially on the defense. So, Latoria says, "Oh, got here just in time. Mikal ain't it." Chris Goodwin, Bridges never goes above and beyond. We needed a big night from him tonight. Instead, much of the same BS. Goodwin says he is soft, gives you garbage night in, night out. We say the same. Yeah, Chris, look, Mikal just right now he's more of a the Knicks are not running their offense through Mikal. And you're seeing games where Anunoby, like last game, dominates, right? Can dominate the game in the post, from mid-range, free throw line, dunks, threes. I know Anunoby didn't have it tonight, but we just haven't seen a full 48, like a full package from Mikal Bridges offensively yet. And again, 20 points tonight, but these free throw numbers are kind of alarming. Like that just tells me he's settling a lot. And I know, like I said, throughout his career, he doesn't really go to the line a lot, but still, look at all these empty numbers from the free throw line. It's, slow the game down a little bit, get to the line. Just, I don't know, a lot of emptiness that I'm feeling in my stomach from Mikal Bridges. And it will get better. I hope it gets better, but right now, tonight wasn't lost because of Mikal Bridges. It was just obviously a team defensive effort, but still, I still need more. Still need more. Mike, what's going on? This is starting to get ridiculous. Can't get into rhythm. Yeah, Mike. Look, I opened up. It's frustrating, right? This inconsistency from this Knicks team is frustrating. This is a trend now. The Knicks can't compete in basketball games where they don't shoot the ball well, and their poor defense leads to poor offense. And when teams play fast, Jason Kidd before this game said, if we play fast, we will win. And Dallas was playing fast. They were hitting tough shots. Spencer Dinwiddie was hitting daggers. Najee Marshall was playing well. Freaking PJ Washington is a 26% three-point shooter, and he shot 3 of 3 tonight. Like, that's all you need to know. Like, PJ Washington is a 26% three-point shooter, and he shot 3 of 3 tonight. Like, I had to look it up. That's just how the game went. That's just how the game went for this Knicks team, and a lot of poor closeouts. Say what you want. Tired legs, maybe Denver to Dallas. I don't know, but still got a chance to go 3-2 on this road trip on Friday. But this one was a tough one. It's like one hot game from this Knicks team, this fiery offense. We saw it in the second half again. Finally got the offensive game going. But if you're not going to play defense, you're not going to win. You're not going to win a lot of games if you're not going to play defense. And, we can't just rely on Precious and Mitch to save us. They will help. But the starting five still needs to be better as a unit defensively. And right now, they're just not where they need to be. Precious and Mitch will help, especially Precious Achiuwa when he gets back. Wondering when that's going to be. It seems like he's back at practice, but I'm just waiting for that. Precious Achiuwa is questionable, and we just haven't gotten it yet. I'm hoping we get it on Friday. But I think on Friday marks 6 weeks since Precious Achiuwa's hamstring injury, and they gave it a 4 to 6 week time frame. So, yeah, frustrating loss from your New York Knicks. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Frustrating loss. Come join us here in the chat. Once again, if you want to hop in the Discord and call in to post game, and we can do that as well. Discord link is in the bio. Daniel, what's going on, man? Just talking about this tough loss. Knicks fall to 10-8 on the season. It's the inconsistency of this team, right? It's I don't know. It's the thing is, as soon as the game starts, you could tell right away if this is gonna be one of those games. Like the first 6 to 8 minutes, it's like, all right, this is gonna be one of them games. This is gonna be one of them games where the Knicks just don't have it offensively. and letting guys get by them defensively. And, it's a trend now. Bulls game, you go down by so much, you come back. This time the Knicks didn't really have a run in them tonight. It's a trend, right? 18 games in, 20% of the regular season? That's, pretty decent sample size to kind of figure out where you lie on the spectrum. But one thing is for certain is that defensively, they just they need to get better. And Anunoby has held his own, but Bridges, I think teams are attacking Mikal Bridges a lot. Pick and roll stuff, Mikal Bridges is being attacked, and he is just not where he needs to be defensively on the court, getting turned around a lot, getting lost in switches, and that's attributing to this poor defense as well. But once again, it's not just Mikal. Cat has to improve. Brunson has to improve. But we are just waiting for our reinforcements, man. Our reinforcements. Honestly, you can't get into rhythm when you try to get physical with the team. Foul every time. You can't. Refs need to stop dictating some of the game. Yeah, the referees tonight were absolutely atrocious. We talked about it a little bit, but yeah, look, Dallas was switching everything, and the Knicks just, maybe that caught them off guard, and they made an adjustment second half. I mean, they scored a lot in the second half, but I mean, when you have, these wings on Dallas they outplayed your wings, right? You had P.J. Washington with 19 points, Najee Marshall with 24 points, Kyrie Irving 23 and 6. I mean, not terrible, not bad. And then Quentin Grimes with 21 points and 4 of 8 from 3, his best game of the season. Quentin Grimes was gonna ball out against us, man. Quentin Grimes is wanted to shove it to the Knicks, and he played well. He played well, and then they got, obviously Dinwiddie was a dagger tonight with them. I mean, 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, 9 assists, 21 points. It's laughable. It's laughable. But when you're gonna play such poor defense, those contested shots, once they get into rhythm, once Dallas was getting into the rhythm, even if you contested the shot, even if like a lot of these shots from Dinwiddie were, the Knicks closed out pretty well on him, but he was already in rhythm. That's why he was nailing tough shots in the second half, especially. Once he got into rhythm, it's too late. And Dinwiddie is a good shooter. And then Lively, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Yeah, man, it's the defense. I mean, Dallas, 3 straight quarters with 30-plus points, 39 in the fourth. Look, even though you scored 43 in the fourth, Dallas was still able to score 39. 27 assists, only 20 for the Knicks. 13 turnovers for Dallas. 16 fast break points, 58 points in the paint. Largest lead of the game for the Knicks was 2 points. It's frustrating. Now you're 10-8 on the season, and you got a chance to go 3-2 on this road trip. Look, coming into this 5-game West Coast stand, I said if you can go 4-1, great. But if you can go 3-2, I'm not going to be upset at that. A lot of travel. Got a win in Phoenix. Got a great win in Denver. 3-2 on a West Coast trip, 5-game swing. I'm still signing up for that. And then you come home for some winnable games. You got a tough game versus Orlando. I'm still going to sign up for that, guys. I mean, if you can win in Charlotte, 11-8, heading home on another 4-game homestand with some winnable games on that, I'm still going to sign up for that. Hopefully you get Precious back on Friday. You can kind of get your defense, hopefully it can get better when Precious comes back. But look, 3-2 on a West Coast trip. I know that Utah loss sucks and tonight's loss sucked, but, I'm still going to sign up for that. And, of course, there are still things to clean up with this basketball club. But you got to win on Friday. You got to win in Charlotte. You got to. right? You got to. Hit 'em up says, I've noticed the Knicks can't come back from a 20-point lead. Hit 'em up. They did it versus Chicago, and they did it versus Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. When they got down Brooklyn, right? One of those games. We've gotten down by 20 and come back. We just couldn't get over the hump versus the Chicago Bulls. Chris Connors, what's going on? Starting to feel like Mitch and Hartenstein combo made a huge difference. Yeah, man, the Knicks are, like I said, offensively, the Knicks are great. Top 2-3 offensive rating in the NBA. But, defensively, you're going to need those guys back if you want to. Like Richard Jefferson said before the game, he said, your offense is going to be great, but you need to be top 10 defensive rating if you really want to be a true championship contender, right? You need to get your defense top 10, top 15. And right now the Knicks are, I think, 23rd, 24th. So I know it's the easy thing to say, right? I just wait till Precious gets back. Just wait till Mitchell Robinson gets back. But guys, I mean, Mikal has to step up defensively, right? He has to. And he's capable of it. But just right now he's not playing well defensively. So Yuri, what's going on, Yuri? Jorge Ortiz, when is Mitch and Precious coming back? Hopefully Precious comes back Friday versus the Charlotte Hornets. Look, Tom Thibodeau says he's been doing everything in practice. And Mitchell Robinson wants to get back on Christmas Day, but that's looking like more like a January return. Precious, I'm hoping, will come back soon, and we just have to go from there. Oh, man, tough one. Tough one. Appreciate every single one of you in here. Smart Kid says, I don't understand why Josh plays so much. Is he that important? Smart Kid, Josh Hart is extremely important to this team. Extremely important. If you would have liked Tom Thibodeau to expand the rotation to 9 guys tonight, I agree. I thought Knicks could have used a bigger body in there tonight. Maybe a pack home daddy. I thought that Tom Thibodeau should have went to him tonight, especially since OG Anunoby just didn't have it. Dead legs from Denver. Played absolutely incredible in Denver. Tonight just didn't have it, and I thought he should have extended the rotation to 10 guys, 9 guys, maybe 10, but he didn't. So, Mike says, I never heard of Marshall till tonight. When he hit Bridges with the too small, I said, hell nah, come on, y'all. Who's the fighter on the team to go catch fire when we need it? I love that comment, Mike. Yeah, the fighter on the team is JB. I mean, we know the fighter on this team is Brunson. Can obviously, will us to a victory. But, yeah, going back to Bridges, Mike, 20 points tonight. Was a 4-10 from 3, 4-10 from 3. I'm kind of underwhelmed, I'm kind of underwhelmed. 18 games in, just not getting enough from him. Especially on the defensive end. It's just, the thing is the aggressiveness, okay, not being aggressive on offense, but defensively, it's just a lot of like dumb turnovers too. There was a turnover in the first half where he got caught on the baseline, tried to get the ball to Anunoby, and it's just out of bounds. It's like dumb turnovers like that, which I'm like, come on, Bridges, man, you know better. It's just, he just hasn't gotten comfortable. He's just not comfortable yet. And 18 games in, and, I'm underwhelmed with what we're seeing from Bridges. That's not to say that he can turn it up, and I think he can turn it up, but we need him to turn it up. We need him to turn it up. OG Anunoby's doing his part defensively. He talked about Wingstop. I mean, Wingstop is closed right now. Like, Wingstop is closed. Like, I don't know when Mikal's going to open up, but we need Wingstop to, we need our wings to play great defense. And one of them is, it's just that Mikal is just, he's not. He's closed. He's closed. So, Keeping it real, presses are going to help us for sure, man. Presses are so valuable to this team. So valuable to this team. Defensively, too, especially at the rim. A lot of shot protection. Even offensively, Precious. It's huge. And he will. But one man just can't save us. It just has to be a team effort. Like, it just can't be Anunoby, Josh Hart. You know, and it can't be those guys. It can't be McBride. It has to be a team effort. Like, Anunoby can only do so much. You know? And they're trying to get Anunoby's main defender off of him by giving him a pick and roll, and it's working. So, oh man, Latoria says I was joking, but as of today, I'd pack Mikal right up for Dante in a heartbeat. Dante's struggling in Minnesota, Latoria. I wouldn't. Look, I still have faith that. Look, offensively, it's been there for Mikal for the majority part of the season. It's still one of the best in terms of mid-range shooter, just not getting to the rim, not getting to the free throw line at all. Like I said, the stat earlier, he's been to 7 straight games and not being to the free throw line, not being aggressive. That just tells me he's settling a lot. Defensively, he's getting lost. And but I'll still take Mikal over Dante. Dante right now is struggling in Minnesota, so. Chris Goodwin, I wanted a phenomenal regular season. I wanted to challenge for 60 wins, and right now we look like a pedestrian 44-win team. Look, Chris, it's a 5-game West Coast trip. Still have a chance to go 3-2. I know it's not what a lot of people want to hear after this tough loss, but you got 2 great wins in Phoenix and Denver. At Utah, at Dallas, 2 houses of horrors, by the way. I don't know what the hell is in the waters in these two states. Knicks can't win in Dallas. Yeah, we all know what happened a couple of years ago with Luka and the offensive rebound and the shot put and the last year when you just couldn't grab a rebound to pretty much try to go up in that game. You just can't win in Dallas and Utah. I don't know, but go win in Charlotte. Go to 3-2 on the West Coast trip. Feeling good about yourself heading back home. Bridges is playing like his gym class in high school right now. It's funny because I get it, man. I get it. Mike says Wingstop is open and OG just the only one working. Bridges keep calling out and Deuce supposed to be working the register. They've been calling out sick. Wingstop is open. Just Mikal Bridges just keeps on calling out. Keeps using his sick days. Don't know when Mikal's going to show up. OG's working behind the counter, making them chicken wings, putting sauce on them, serving people. Mikal just chilling on his phone. Just hasn't shown up to work yet defensively. So, yeah, man. Wingstop. Oh, man. That's funny. Appreciate every single one of you just chopping it up before this Thanksgiving tomorrow before we stuff our faces. I was hoping the Knicks will give us a nice win tonight. So tomorrow we can chill, relax, watch some football and relax. But unfortunately, tough loss for your New York Knickerbockers, and hopefully we bounce back on Friday. Right? Dean says we lost spacing with Cat. Dean. Come on. Come back to me, man. Knicks are, second offensive rating team in the NBA. The offense isn't a problem. Like, you score 114 points tonight. It's the defense, Dean. Like, Knicks offensively have a chance to, like, I think we scored 145 last game. That was the first time since when? The 80s? They have a chance to be one of the best offenses in the league. It's defensively. Just look at these numbers. Dallas, 129 points. Denver, 118. Utah, 121. Phoenix, 122. Washington stinks. Brooklyn Brooklyn again, 122. Chicago, 123. Only time the Knicks team has held a team under 100 points has been that Philly game. They play extremely slow, and that was without Maxey, and the Bucks game and the Houston game. No. Yeah, and that was it. It's defensively, guys. It's, we're scoring enough. It's just that if we can string together enough possessions defensively to get stops, and right now this team just isn't capable of doing it. It's like you get it, you score. I'm not worried about the offense. Like tonight, you got down by what, like 20 points. Knicks would get it back to like 13, and you're like, all right, this is when they're gonna make a run. And then Dinwiddie, 3, Najee Marshall, PJ Washington, 26% 3-point shooter. He's hitting daggers. Quentin Grimes is hitting 4-point plays. So I mean, it's that. It's that. And look, just win in Charlotte, please. Win in Charlotte. Dean says you gotta understand, Cat going off isn't what our team is built for. Yeah, I mean, Cat's been awesome this season. Obviously defensively, his numbers are, not where they need to be, but this offense isn't the problem. Like, they don't need Cat to go off. Like, OG had 40 points versus Denver, and Cat had 30 and 15. Like, the quietest 30 and 15 you'll see. So it's the defense, man. It's if the Knicks can get to a top 15 defense, they're good, right? They're good. And is this the new, like, is this the new Knicks? Like, are we just gonna just give up a lot of points and hopefully we outscore everyone? Is this the new Knicks? Until we get our guys back? Seems like it. I don't know if I can get used to that, especially like on these down shooting nights, but you're still 2 games over 500. Sky's not falling. But we're seeing when they don't play defense, they're not going, and they shoot the ball poorly, they're not going to win. So, Tony says playing these guys over 38 minutes a night is not going to have your team on a consistent winning mentality. Yeah, look, I would have liked some Daddy A in here tonight, especially, just to give us a little bit of a spark, especially if OG Anunoby didn't have it offensively. You don't really want to play OG Anunoby 40 minutes on a night. He just really didn't have it offensively. But, guys, this is who Tom Thibodeau is, man. I mean, this is who he is. And these guys want to play. They get paid to play. They get paid millions of dollars to play. And this is just who it is. The Knicks are picking spots where they want to get Daddy A involved, where they want to get Tyler Kolek involved. They're picking certain games, and tonight just wasn't one of them. So, Dean says Cat as the number 1 didn't work in Minnesota. Why would it work here? Because he's not the number 1 here, Dean. He doesn't need to be the number 1. He just needs to be Cat. Just give us 25 and 10 on efficient shooting, and like he has been all season long. Brunson obviously has shown us in the playoffs he brings it up an extra knot. OG Anunoby has shown us in the playoffs he brings us up an extra knot. The wild card is Mikal Bridges. That is a wild card right now. That is the one guy who has been underperforming consistently. Has been Mikal Bridges. He's been underwhelming. He has to be better. So that's who you want to point the finger at right now. Eddie says we need to lower our expectations. What are your expectations for this team? I honestly think we can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Hopefully it's a matchup against Boston because I really want that. But in order for that to happen, you need Mitch and you need Precious. And I know as I say that, I'm like, you're relying on Mitchell Robinson being healthy in May, which he really hasn't been. That is a risk, but defensively, your team needs Mitchell Robinson. Your team needs Precious Achiuwa right now. And maybe at the deadline, the Knicks add another big for insurance. Maybe as the season progresses, Ariel Hukporti gets more playing time. Jericho Sims improves. But my expectations are obviously Eastern Conference Finals, and then we just go from there. But this Knicks team can very well get there. So, Michael K said today the Knicks are really good. They're unbelievable offensively, and according to him, under Thibs, they will figure it out on defense. Yeah, look, that's the hope. That's the hope. You want them to figure out the schemes on defense, and that's where the coaching staff has, 18 games in, they haven't. Tom Thibodeau, I think he said they're top 10 in free throw rate, the fast break, they're like top 15, so they're looking at those numbers. But, in terms of the pick and roll stuff, it's too easy, like a lot of open threes, just a lot of open threes for their opponents. And when opponents play fast, when they run against the Knicks can't get settled in their defense, and they're having trouble on those high pick and rolls. And that's what's killing them right now. That's what's killing them. So that's what's killing them. Expectation has to be conference finals after 2. Yeah, has to be. Has to be, Chris. I agree. Tony says, and I disagree. It's not Mikal. It's on the coach. You got to be able to put your players in a position where they are their best. The blame is on the coach. Also, you don't play your bench. Tony, I know you dislike Tom Thibodeau, but at some point, he can only do so much. It just has to lie on the player. Like, at some point, these players got to be held accountable. And if you're watching OG Anunoby play well, and defensively and offensively, and Mikal just hasn't been consistent enough for this Knicks team. Cat has been awesome. Brunson has been awesome this season. He's being more of a floor general. He's changing his game. When he needs to score, he will. When he doesn't, he takes a back seat. Yes, he's had some wonky games, Utah and Atlanta. Josh Hart has been having a career year. The one guy in the starting lineup has been Mikal, who's just been inconsistent. And I understand where you're saying that it lies on the coach, that they have to put him in certain situations to, have his confidence boosted. But he needs to be better. He does. Point blank. Point blank. Yeah, keeping it real. Thibs is killing the starters. I get it, guys. I get it, but the starting guy, these guys want to play, and I'm going back to Denver game. It was, I know we were blowing them out, and look, 8-man rotation in the Denver game. Then all the guys came in towards the later part of the game, but it seems like Thibs is playing Daddier in lower. Like against Washington and against Brooklyn, that's when Daddier was playing. But he hasn't really gone to him during this West Coast trip. He went to him 2 minutes in Utah, right? Daddier played 3 minutes in Utah, and in those 3 minutes, he had two good defensive possessions in those 2 minutes. So yeah, it's just been consistently this 8-man rotation. And Daddier sprinkled in whenever Tom Thibodeau feels like it. But, hey. Would I like Daddier to play? Yes. But Tom Thibodeau decides that. And I feel like we'll go crazy just going back and forth with that. I disagree on his decision-making with the players' time and efficiency as well as effectiveness. I agree, Tony. Like, I agree with you. And sorry I meant that I know you don't dislike the coach, but yeah, I agree. It's just at some point it's like we keep on saying it and just nothing changes. Like I know that I would like to go to a ninth man to kind of relieve some of the guys, but Thibodeau is just rolling with his dudes, right? And you're 10-8, 2 games over 500. Have a chance to go 11-8 on Friday, 3-2 on the road trip, and with Precious coming back in the mix, and maybe that's your answer. Maybe Precious coming back. Jericho Sims plays 5 minutes off the bench. Precious plays 20, and then there's your answer. There's your 4th man off the bench. But right now, it's that's not the case. That's not the case for Tom Thibodeau. So, look, Dinwiddie killed you tonight, man. And I mean, at halftime, the Knicks were 2 of 16 from 3, 11 of 42 from the field. Dinwiddie. And Anunoby missed his first 11 shots. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's a game you have to win with no Clay and no Luka. That's for sure. And it's just the inconsistency with this squad. You want them to get better defensively, and you want them to. What I want to see is, a night where they don't shoot the ball well, they still pull out a victory. That's what we're waiting for, right? We're waiting for one of those games where they shoot. I mean, tonight they shot the ball extremely poorly. I mean, compared to the Jazz game, it was right up there. I mean, what was the field goal percentage tonight? But you want to see them string together a game where 7 and 29 from 3. I mean, 24%, 40 of 86 from the field. They shot 30 free throws, and I mean, believe it or not, but you want them to have a defensive game where they're like, wow, they pulled out that game, even though they didn't shot the ball well. They gritted their way to a victory. They played great team defense, and they scored 105 and still won the game. You're waiting for that, but right now this team just hasn't pulled together a full 48-minute game where they shoot the ball poorly. They're not going to win if they play poor defense. So they play poor defense. If Clay and Luka was playing, the Mavs would have scored 170 points. That's the thing, man. I would have preferred Clay and Luka to play. It's like when you're missing that many guys, these guys play more freely. Obviously minutes open up for, Quinn Grimes. Minutes open up for others like, I know Marshall's a good player, but, I would have preferred actually Luka and them to play. But, yeah, we used to do that last season all the time. Yeah, look. We used to pull out a lot of those games last season where we don't have it offensively, but, defensively, that was our identity. And right now, the Knicks, what they showed you in 18 games is they're struggling to find their identity. Offensively, their identity is, we know what their identity is. They're amazing offensively, but defensively is the problem. And 18 games in, I want to see what it looks like with Precious. I really do. I want to see what it looks like for Precious. I know it's like a cop-out answer, but I really want to see what it looks like with Precious, and hopefully it can get it can't get worse. It can't get worse. So I know with Precious it will get better. It just can't get worse with Precious Achiuwa. But go win on Friday. Go beat Charlotte. End this road trip 3-2. 11-8 at home. Pull up the schedule again. Then you have some winnable games at home. Go beat Charlotte, man. 11-8. Heading back home. Another long road trip. Feeling good about yourself. Then you come home to New Orleans, which is a mess. Orlando, they're a great team. They're doing this without Paolo Banchero. Charlotte, Detroit, Toronto, big game versus Minnesota. Cats return, and then you just go from there. But let's take a look at the standings right now in the East. It's just not consistent. I think Philly lost tonight. Philly is 3-4. Philly is 3-14. Knicks are 10-8, 4th in the Eastern Conference. Look at the East, guys. I mean, it's Cleveland, Boston, and Orlando. Those are your top dogs right now. Those are your teams that have found their identity. They've been consistent all season long, and Orlando is doing this without Paolo. They have a star in Wagner. And Milwaukee has stringed together 5 straight. The Miami Heat, 8-8. Pacers, who you thought was going to be up there, 9-10. So Knicks are still 4th with the chance to go 11-8 and head back home to some winnable games. And then we just go from there. And then hopefully we can get Precious back. And yeah. Opponent's points per game. Knicks 113.7. Cleveland 112.3. Cleveland scoring a ton. And obviously they got those big boys down low. But yeah, guys, just win on Friday. Just win on Friday. I think our defense will be better with Precious. Yeah, it will be, Latoria. It will be. This Rover says I blame everything on Hartenstein. Yeah, shout out to iHeart, man. He bowling out in OKC. It can only get better with Precious. It can only get better with Precious, guys. It can't get worse. And Precious was a throw-in, but he quickly showed us that he was not a throw-in last year. He was a valuable piece to this Knicks defensive identity. And you go back to the Philly series where he was guarding Embiid, and I go back to I just have a play ingrained in my mind during that series where Precious tipped out a missed free throw and sealed the game for the Knicks. It's just little things like that. Like, Precious is an extremely smart player, and the Knicks missed that on defense. And I'm hoping that look, Thibodeau, Calm Night. Thibodeau said that. Calm Night asked when is Precious back. Again, Thibodeau says that he's pretty much doing everything. Knicks play on Friday at 12 p.m. If it was up to me, do you need him versus Charlotte? If he's healthy, I play him. But do you need him versus Charlotte? I don't think you do. Win in Charlotte, then have him come back during our homestand. But if he wants to play on Friday, it's a 12 p.m. game. It's like one of those weird start times. Black Friday game. So I doubt that he comes back Friday. Hopefully he does. But I'm hoping within these next 2 games he's back. Because we need him. We definitely need him. Mike says we definitely need that Precious energy out there. That screaming energy. That's the Westbrook energy I'm talking about. Yes, I can't wait to get him back. Yeah, like, good observation. Like, we need that, man. Like, we need, like, you have a good defensive possession. Scream, man. Like, pump your fists. Like, we're just missing that right now. And I know that's due to the fact that we're not stringing together a lot of defensive stops. But, yeah, man, we just need his energy, man. We just need his pizzazz. He's a good player, man. And he's a huge part of what we're trying to do. That's why I've been just like, oh, when Precious gets back, when Precious gets back, when Precious gets back. But he hasn't played all season, and we're already 18 games in. So that leads me to believe that hamstring injury that he suffered was a pretty bad one. Because I personally thought he would have been back by now. But the Knicks are just not going to risk it. They want to make sure he's 100% because they know how valuable he is to this basketball team. They don't want him to go out there and re-injure it. And obviously we don't either. But, yeah, man. He's valuable. He's valuable for sure. Hartenstein is a sellout. Look, if Hartenstein pretty much, if he re-signed with the Knicks, I don't think we would have had Cat right now. So he pretty much changed the Knicks plan, but I'm grateful for Cat being on the team. And obviously it's not really, Minnesota, I know they're playing tonight, but it hasn't really worked in Minnesota with those two. Yeah, Minnesota lost tonight again, 115-104. I know this is part of the post game where we're just chopping it up and not even talking about the Knicks, but appreciate every single one of you just sticking in here. But Minnesota's been struggling. I mean, they're 8-10. And Dante DiVincenzo can't hit anything. 1 of 6 from 3. So I'm grateful for Cat on the team. But yeah, Hartenstein, yeah. And do you think Mitch Cat presses OG Brunson is better for our defense? Mitch Cat presses OG Brunson. Oof. Yeah, I think that would be a hell of a defensive lineup. But offensively, I don't think that's like I wouldn't go to that. But there will be times where they close with that lineup. Or maybe like during the game, like critical defensive stop, they go to that lineup. I know Hart will be mixed into that as well because they trust Josh Hart. But yeah, but that's the versatility you have with Precious because he could guard 2 through 4, like shooting guard, small forward, and power forward, and the centers, as we saw with Joel Embiid. So he's versatile. So we need him. Crazy how we took Mikal over DiVincenzo. Once we traded for Mikal, that was the end of Dante. He's taken his spot. Mikal has taken his spot. And I'm hoping the Knicks, like offensively, Mikal has been okay. Like he hasn't been amazing. He hasn't been bad. He's just been okay. Like he hasn't been, like he's just been okay. Like mid-range is there, 3-point. Especially the corner threes are there. Defensively is where Mikal has struggled, but again, we need more from Mr. Bridges. From Mr. Bridges, yeah, you want to take your time with hamstrings, man. You don't want to push hamstrings, and I think that's where the Knicks are. They're taking their time with Precious Achiuwa, and they don't want him to re-injure hamstrings because. Especially, I know you guys, some of you guys obviously watch football, but those hamstring injuries are, man, some of those take weeks. It depends on the strain, depends on the grade, but it's freak injury when it happened too. I mean, but yeah, we need him, and you don't want to rush that. This Rover says Dante had the friendship buff while Mikal gets the friendship debuff. Yeah, man, like we said earlier, man, Mikal keeps calling out of Wingstop, man. He just, I don't know, man. Just a lot of empty, I get an empty stomach from Mikal. It's just turnovers, especially like silly turnovers, especially tonight versus Dallas. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I thought he's a smart player, but I thought we would see more. Like in terms of like his basketball IQ this season really hasn't been up to par with what I expected. But, I mean, it's just defensively, he just keeps getting lost on assignments. And I think Chris Herring put out an article today regarding how teams they just keep attacking Mikal pick and rolls because it's working. And I don't know how you fix that unless the player just simply becomes more engaged defensively. They just keep attacking Mikal and Cat pick and rolls, and it's just the Knicks just can't figure out how to stop it. So Eddie says, let's not forget Mitch commits foolish fouls, so he's not dependable. Eddie, man, yeah, Mitch is dependable. It's just durability, obviously, is the issue with Mitch. Obviously, he's when he's healthy, he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. Great rim protector. It's just he just got to get healthy, man. And I'm hoping when he comes back in December that he can give us a good bill of health from January until the playoffs. Maybe the Knicks are going to be extra cautious with him. No back-to-backs probably, but he will help our defense. It cannot get worse. It cannot get worse for this New York Knicks team defensively. So Eddie says his shot selection is bad. Mikal, yeah, I mean, yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. I'm just, like I said earlier, man, I'm not getting the 5 first-round pick vibes for Mikal Bridges, man. I'm not really getting that. Like, you traded a lot of assets for him, and you expect more out of him. And I know it's 18 games, but I don't know. I thought that Brooklyn game was really going to be like a changing of the, like, okay, wow, game sealing block, but that's what he's capable of. I mean, that's what he showed you he's capable of. He's just not consistent enough. And, the Knicks are going to tell you it's still early, still super early. They still have confidence in him. I still have confidence in him. And he just got to be better, man. He just got to be better. Roberto, what's going on from Brazil? I am very sad. Yeah, tough loss for this Knicks team. Roberto, 114 and 129. Towns, 25 and 14. Brunson, 37 and 7 assists. Brunson, his assists have actually been a bit up lately, but inconsistency from the squad. We talked about it. It's a trend. Hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Phoenix hot. Utah cold. Denver hot. Dallas cold. Charlotte hot. I hope. I don't know. But yeah, man, it's just the inconsistency. When they don't shoot the ball well, they're not going to win right now. Right now. If they don't shoot the ball well, they're not going to win. And I know it sounds like if you don't shoot the ball well, you're not going to win. Of course, right? It's basketball. But the way this Knicks team is playing defense, they're definitely not going to win. Definitely not going to win. Amanda, what's going on? Precious is amazing, but he isn't the team's savior. He's not the savior, Amanda, but he will definitely help. We said it earlier. The starting five definitely has to be better. Definitely has to improve on that front, especially Mikal has to improve. Cat, pick and roll stuff. And yeah, he will help, Amanda. He's not the savior, but he will help. And like I said, if the Knicks can get to top 15 in NBA defensive rating, sign me up for that. But right now, if you're in the 20s, you're relying on your offense to just score 120, like 130, 140, and that's not really sustainable. It's not really sustainable. This win one, lose one ain't gonna work. We need more to be more consistent, and they have been. Look, I mean, they have been more consistent. As I pull up their schedule. Damn, how about Brooklyn? 111 and 97. The Brooklyn Nets. Sheesh. What am I doing? Okay. They've won what, 5 out of their last 7. Where am I going right now? Okay. Look, they strung together some. Win 4 straight. You won 5 out of your last 7 games, right? 5 out of your last 6 games. Lost tonight, obviously. Strung together, some wins there. But win in Charlotte, then you get back on the winning track. Then you have some home cooking that you can take care of some business, man. This homestand coming up. Look, 4-game homestand. You need to go 3-1. Maybe even 4-0. New Orleans has to be a win. Charlotte has to be a win. Detroit has to be a win. Orlando is the only one that's up in the air, simply due to the fact that Orlando is a tough team. But you're home, and you're striving to be one of the best teams in the East. That's a game where signature win, right? Your signature win this year was Denver. On the road in Denver, beat the Denver Nuggets. Opening night, you beat Indiana. But you need to have one of those, another signature win like that versus Orlando at home. And if they run the table, right, if they win, they very well can win 5 straight games, this Knicks team. And then we're 15-8. And then we're feeling good about ourselves going to Toronto. But you got to get there first. It takes one win at a time. And I think the Knicks can overcome that, especially with Precious Achiuwa coming back. We just go from there. Yeah, man, that's balling right now in Phoenix. All right, guys, appreciate every single one of you that joined me here tonight. Appreciate every single one of you. Happy Thanksgiving to every single one of you. Make sure you eat up, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Thankful for all of your continued support throughout the year. Really thankful for you guys for tuning in every single post game, and just, enjoy your day tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving to every single one of you. I'll be back on Friday evening. Hopefully we can get another Knicks win. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good night. Peace.